Okay, dear friends, welcome back. Now I'd like to go on our series of Vulnhub. The virtual machine would be one of the Funbox series. That is next level to be specifically. And as you can see, there's some descriptions provided by the author. But here, the author has given us one hint. The first impression is not always the right one. Maybe we need to keep this into our mind. Before begin our today's video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate your help and support. So now let's get started. To save the time, I have already imported the virtual machine into the VirtualBox. So now I'd like to enter into the Kali Linux. Okay, here it is. As you can see from the screen over here, I have already identified the IP address of the virtual machine as 254. And the next, what I have already done is map scanning. And I did the things again, the versions again, and the default script scan. But I also configure the comprehensive scan by the -p-. From the map scanning results, as you can see, the two open ports. The first one is 22, which runs SSH. And also the version information is here. But of course, as we know, this version doesn't have any vulnerability. And the next one is 80, which runs HTTP. And of course, the retrieved page just default Apache 2 page. So now we need to fire up our browser and input our IP address. So as you can see from the page is just as we mentioned, is default Apache 2 page. And so also we can check the source code, but we cannot find anything useful. And now we can retrieve the robots file. Just one sentence. It says allow thinking. Yeah, yes, of course, we will be thinking. So next thing, what we can do is to do the directory enumeration by GoBuster. And I think we can auto-complete this command to save the time. Now let's hit enter. Yeah. Immediately we got one directory, the Drupal. And we can copy this, and we can visit this directory. But this directory, as you can see, the browser will be automatically redirect to another IP address, which is not in the same virtual machine. Even it's in the different network, of course, it cannot succeed. So if we remember, the author has already given us one hint, which says the first impression may be not the right one. So of course there is another file, but this file, I can tell you, is just useless information. So maybe we can cancel or interrupt this process to see this. Yeah, this directory itself cannot be accessed, but maybe we can find out its subdirectory. And okay, so now we can put the directory name and append to this URL Drupal. Now let's hit enter. Yeah, so as you can see, there's some directories, also the files like index.php, WordPress content. So I think this directory must run the WordPress site and also the WordPress admin, and we can try this one. But it still is redirect to the unexistent IP address, and of course it certainly will fail. And we can try other one like this one. We can copy and paste in here. So it also doesn't work. And we can try this one. Of course, this is very standard WordPress directory, and we can put in here. Oh, sorry, I need to change the IP address. So this WordPress content directory, although it doesn't give us any content or data, but it works. So we need to keep that in mind. And also this one. We can make a copy. Now we wait for this to be loading up to see whether we can get more information. I think this file does work, although it is still connecting this IP address, but as you can see, we haven't got the title of the page. So maybe some script in this page will be connecting to this IP address, to the another IP address of another network. But part of this code can be loaded up without problems. So I think the GoBuster has already enumerated the subdirectories and also the files under this directory. And some files like WordPress admin, this directory is used by the administrators, but it's not accessible for us. But this one is accessible, and this one I think is also accessible. Yeah, as you can see, we can visit this index.php. So I think now what we can do is use the WordPress scan, right? And we can put the URL. Of course, we need the full path of this URL. If you don't include this part, this WordPress scan will not work, because if the WordPress scan just try to access this part of the URL, it will not work at all. So we need to put the full path of this directory. The page. And also we need to this is another, we can open up another tab. And we can work spread scan to have a look at the help. Yeah, we need to specify this option. If we don't specify this option, sorry, I need to remove the duplicate. And this command will not work. And of course we can copy this part and paste in here. And specify the option of E and try to enumerate of the username and the password. Okay, no plugins found. And now it's enumerating users. And we wait for this to be completed to see whether we can find out the usernames and vulnerable plugins. Of course, we already know that we use this command cannot identify the plugins. Yeah, here, this command has already given us two usernames. One is admin, which is very normal user for the WordPress administrator. But there is also the bin. And because of the reason I mentioned, this we cannot, or the WordPress admin directory is not accessible. So we cannot brute force attack to get or retrieve the password for these two users. So I think, but we have already identified one users, and this user maybe is also the username for the system. And now we can use the Hydra to crack the password and use the word list of locq. I think I have already explained clearly. Because we cannot access the WordPress admin directory, the WordPress scan tool just simulate our manual way to try to get the password or crack the password for the users. But because the WordPress admin directory is not accessible, so we cannot crack the password with the WordPress scan tool. Anyway, we have already got one username, which is bin, and now we wait for this to be completed to see whether we can retrieve the password for the bin. So, okay, yeah, I'd like to pause the video, and when it's done, I'll come back. Okay, so after about 3 minutes or 4 minutes, the Hydra 2 has got the password for the bin user. Now we can SSH to the target. Okay, we need to remove the old keys. Yes. And the password is Pookie. Yeah, Pookie. Yeah, now we successfully log in as Ben user. And I think here, as you can see, you have a mail, right? So we can check. But permission denied. And also have a mail directory. So it's a bit weird, right? We can monitor the open ports. So as you can see, this port is running the POP3 service. So maybe we can telnet this port, right? Telnet. And now we can, and the user is Ben. Pass, which is Pookie. No problem. And then next the mail. Yeah, we can get the first and get the second mail, and also we can get the third mail. So I think we have already got another credentials for the ADEM, and we can log in. We can open up another tab. ADEM. And password we can paste in here, no problem. And we can check if this user ADEM has the commands with root privilege or sudo privilege, and we can paste the password again. Yeah, so we can run the password of DD to elevate our privilege. And because this one, so I think we can use this command to cover the original password file, like this one. But we cannot use the cat command. Also, we cannot use the more. But we can use the dd command to copy the content of the password file to the temporary directory. We can use the sudo dd, and the input file is and the output file is password file. Okay, so no problem. And now we need to download this file onto the Kali Linux, and we can check the Python 3. Yeah, Python 3 exists on the target, and we can set up the HTTP server. Okay, maybe we can open up another new tab. And we can use the wget to download that file. Yeah, cannot. So maybe it has some firewalls. So maybe we can use the SCP to transmit the data to our Kali Linux. We can copy the path here. Yes. Okay, no problem. And now I think we have already downloaded the password file, and we can cut the content. So we have already got the content of the password file, and we need to make a copy onto the notebook. And what we'll be doing is to generate our own user, and this user has a root privilege, and then we'll transport back this file onto the virtual machine or the target and cover the original one, and then we can elevate our privilege. So the first thing, we can use the sudo. Yeah, this one is okay. And we got this line, and we can replace the X, and also the username. I'd like to use JSON. It's okay. So now we can yes, and append to the end of this file. Now write and quit, and now we can use the SP again. Adam, password file, and specify the username. Rename to a different name, because we cannot this maybe have some permission issue. No problem. And I need to copy the password. Where is my, this is my password, and paste in here. Okay, no problem. And we can check. Okay, this file is the new one. This one has already included our generated user information, including the password. And we need to use the dd command to cover the original password file. Let's use sudo dd, and the input file is this one, and to cover the original file. No problem. And now we can switch our use shell to the JSON, and the password 1 2 3 4 5 6. And now we are root. We can go to the root directory and cut the flag here. Okay, so that's all I'd like to demonstrate in this video. And before I conclude my video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.